Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? 01 of 1 back again. It is very late at night. It is past midnight. I am still up for some reason. And so I figured I would make it so that way I can sleep in tomorrow by doing tomorrow morning's video right now. So, right now, I am inside our little cryotube there. Slowly waking up. Haven't had my coffee yet. It's good. Things are coming back into color. That's good. Alright. So, let's just, no, that's got to go there. That's got to go there. Alright, good. Alright, so we are back in our suit, and we're going to go and check out our large greenhouse and see kind of where we're... Ooh, we're at 54%, but we are charging. Okay, good. And then the Stirling generation is on. Good. All right. So that will just run. So that's good. And the idea here is that because we're constantly going to be making water over here, we're constantly going to getting that super hot air being stored, right? This is just a lot of stuff here, man. And yeah, we still have immortal ferns, so I don't do they ever die? I have no idea. Looks like we're picking some potato as well. Okay. Now, in the last episode, we were working on this some more. I don't recall exactly where we left off, so we'll just put this down right there. How did you go in there sideways? I'm pretty sure you were supposed to go in there like that. What? Okay, so you see how it's on here, right? So why does it turn 90 degrees? Alright, whatever. Actually, let's move it up a little bit more. There. How about that? Okay, so I need to import from that. We'll just throw you back on there because reasons. All right, let's see where we are. Composter, combustor, compost quantity, variables, filters, booleans, latches. Oh, right. We were working on the filter and making sure that we're not going to be running this thing if we don't have proper filtration. Okay, and I think I made all of this good. But now we gotta check the fuel here. Alright, so the fuel making has gotta happen up here and it'll control that. So that'll be fun. See, so that's at 182 and 311. That is at 818 and 311. Okay. So then we should be able to mix these. Okay, so this is analyzer O2, analyzer H2, commas between both. I think that's correct. And then the fuel mixer is just going to be fuel mixer. And then I have the composter in here, the combustor in there. The fuel mixer, I might put that in here, but then again, it's the only fuel mixer, so I could just get the device hash for that. So let's go do that. Gas mixer, copy that. Let's see, we need to go all the way up to here, define mixer as that. Okay, so now we will be able to reference that as a mixer. Confirm. And then just in case, I'm going to give it a name. Call it, oh, hey, careful now. Did that just turn that on? It did. Huh. Well, that's cool. Automagical. Wait, no, that's called fuel mixer. Oh. Okay, so it's already called fuel mixer. Okay. So that's fine then. Okay. Now, what kind of stuff... And then also for Charles, who has commented in the previous video, he said in the beta branch, while you're in your programming right here, you can hit F1. As you can see, it's not doing anything, so I think it is just in the beta branch. But yeah, so apparently in the new version that's coming out, you can hit F1 while you're in there instead of having to go out and then back in. Okay, so that is going to be having, yeah, I don't need to mess with any of that. All right, so we need to pull in information from, let's see, compost, fuel. Now, is there anything in here that I need to keep? I'm not using var_x or var_y. Okay, so then we have our gas analyzer here. We have our liquid analyzers here. Okay, so var_x. Okay, so we are using var_x. Okay. Well, I mean, I got plenty of space over here, so what do I want to call this? Alias, I need to get the pressure, temperature, and then, yeah, so I need pressure and temperature, so pressure for O2 is R8, alias pressure, no, sorry, temperature O2 for R9, and then alias pressure H2 is going to be R10. Dude, I'm running out of registers, man. Alias temp H2 as R11. I don't know how many registers we can have. I think it's like 20. All right. So now we have to load into all of those and populate them because I need to compare like all of that information, which is why they all need to be there. I could do this as like a var_y and a var_z and then just kind of go through each one individually, but I think I need to keep the data in there until they can all be verified. So I don't know. Load batch named. We're going to put this into pressure for the O2. Device hash is going to be the gas analyzer with a name hash of analyzer, O2. Then we're going to look at pressure and just grab the average because there's only going to be just the one there. Am I dying? No, I'm not dying. Okay. I think I'm just hearing the Harvey's doing stuff. LBN temperature for the O2 from the gas analyzer. Let's see, hash analyzer, O2, capital. Do that, and then that's going to be temperature and 0. And then load batch to pressure H2 from the gas analyzer named analyzer H2. We're going to pull the pressure again, and then we're going to load from temp H2 from gas analyzer named analyzer H2. This is going to be temperature 0. And then if I find out that I can do this like in a more efficient way than all of this, then I will. Okay, so we're going to want at least, so I have to check to make sure that both of these are above a certain pressure. Okay. I'm gonna need like more booleans, I think. Because I have to make sure that there's pressure in there, and then once I make sure that there's pressure, I have to make sure that their temperatures are close. I'm gonna say like within 3 degrees. And then if all of that, if pressure is above this, temperature is within 3, then do something. I'm just going over like different ways to write the code in my head right now. Trying to figure out if there's like a more efficient way to do this, where I use less, you know, registers. Because I mean, I have a ton of registers already, right? You would think I'd be able to use something here. So variable x, we have to keep that there because that's currently holding on to the tank. But I could move this, and that's our fuel tank, right? Yeah. Okay, so what if I were to take this and put this at the end over here, and then I could use the var x and var y to do all of this. So if I did a, and then I would have to store that information somewhere. So this would be, I'm gonna need to use the booleans too. Bool x, bool y. So, okay, so here's all the things that I have. I have var x, I have var y, I have bool x, and I have bool y. I also have the bool latch that I could probably also use. Maybe. Then I have the bool latch. So this will be kind of like the final okay, I guess. And then these will just be like the intermediate okays. So let's say that the first thing I want to do is check the pressures against each other, right? So we're going to cut this out. We're going to put that over there, right? So we have to load each of these into var x and var y. So this would be var x, this would be var y, var y. Okay, now that would check those. And then I would have to run a latch. No, a bool x, bool y. Okay, so then set greater than, let's see, bool x if our var x is greater than 0. And then set greater than, wait, would that be, yeah, that is for register, yeah, okay. And then this will be bool y for var y. Although I wonder if I could just use var x. Yeah, we'll just keep it like this. Okay, so then so long as we've got at least some pressure in both of the tanks, or maybe, well, hang on. And then I would have to use like an and that would have to go into something, so we'll call bool x, but I don't know if I have to use bool x. So we'll put this on the bool latch for now. And then if both of those are 1, then the latch will be 1. Okay, so then that will be bool x and bool y. So bool, again, just stands for boolean. Boolean is a 1-bit value, so it's either going to be a 1 or a 0. That's all it is. Now, there is no such thing as a boolean in this coding, but because of the coding that I'm used to, like I'm used to having to specify, like if you want like a boolean or an integer or a string or a long or a double or a single, you know, like all of these different types of things determine how much memory space that particular variable is going to be using. And so you want to try to make it like the smallest thing that will still handle everything that needs to be handled. So for boolean, which only uses a bit, it uses a lot less memory space, so your program is actually smaller because you're being more efficient with your, you know, choices, I guess. Okay, so now that we've got that, we're going to have to do the same thing again. So then these would have to go into var x and var y again. So var x and var y. Var y. And actually, you know what? No, I'm going to change this up. We're going to change this to var x and var y. So we're just going to be replacing the value that we're getting up here with either a 1 or a 0. So we're taking whatever this is and then replacing it. And then I can set this, the bool x, so that'll be for the first thing. And then this will be for var x and var y. And then var is either variable or variant. A variant being, I think variant is the largest possible, I guess, unit that you could use because it can substitute for anything. A variant can be a Boolean, it can be an integer, it can be a single, it can be a double, it can be a string, you know, it can be anything, which is why they call it a variant. But you want to try to not use those unless you're using things that are going to fall under like multiple different types of data, and you want to keep using the same, you know, thing. That's when you would use that. All right, so then from here, let's see, we would have to do a set greater than, wait, no, would that actually be a set greater than? No, this is going to have to be a comparison of the two. Oh, how am I going to do this? I'm feeling like mod would be the thing. So like you divide one number by the other and then the remainder is what the modulus would return. But let's say that you have a larger or a smaller number divided by a bigger number, you're going to get 0 as your answer, and then the remainder is just going to be whatever your thing was. Now, is that going to work? So let's say that I've got 273 and, well, no, that's going to be way too hard to do. Let's do 10 and 9, right? So if, let's say that x is 10, y is 9, if I do y divided by x, that'll be 9 over 10. So it'll be 0 with a remainder of 9, even though they're within 1. So that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to figure out what the max is, or which one is bigger, and then have that one be the top value, the numerator, and then the smaller value would have to be the denominator. Is there a better way to do this? I could just do a subtraction and then do an absolute value of the subtraction, and provided that is greater than, you know, whatever number I set. Because let's say that you have 10 minus 9, you get 1, right? If you have 9 minus 10, you get negative 1. But then if you do an absolute value of the negative 1, you're back to 1. So that could work. So if I did a subtract var x, wait, no. That has to be stored somewhere first. Yeah, I think we'll replace it back into var x, and then we're going to subtract var x from var y, and then we're going to do the absolute value of, and we're just going to put it back into var x. That register the absolute value of a, so that just allows you to put it into like a different thing, but I just want it to be back here. And then I'm going to have to do a set greater than, set less than. And this will go into our bool y. And then we're going to be checking our variable x. So var x, which we've got the absolute value of the subtraction between the two temperatures here. So bool y var x less than, and then this, I want it to be within 3 degrees. Okay, so then that'll get us a possible 1 on our bool x. if both of our pressures are above 0. And then that'll give us a possible 1 on our bool y if our temperatures are within 3 degrees of each other. So I think that should be okay. And then, let's see. Now I have to do an AND to make sure that they're both there. So and then we'll put that into the bool latch. And that'll be bool x and bool y. So this checks to make sure that there is a 1 from both of those, meaning that both conditions were passed. And then if that happens, then I want to turn on the mixer. And as soon as one of those fails, it'll turn off the mixer. So from here, we're going to set our mixer. So it's going to be set batch name. Device hash is going to be mixer. Name hash is going to be fuel mixer. And then that is going to load into, oh wait, no. That's going to be on, capital, and that's going to load our bool latch. Okay. And then we'll reuse var x again, once that's done, to load our pressure of our tank here. Yeah, that should work. That was a lot. So again, just to go over this so that way it's somewhat more understandable here. So we're going to load into our variable x or variant x, whatever, or just call it variable, it's fine. From the gas analyzer named analyzer O2. So this is going to be our O2 analyzer only. We're going to load in the pressure, and then we're going to get the average, which is 0. So it'll load average pressure of this singular analyzer, which will just give us the value. It's fine. And it'll put it into there. We're going to do the same thing, and only this time putting it into variable y of the H2 analyzer. So we'll have both of the pressures stored in here. And then we're going to set greater than. So if our, okay, so we're going to set greater than, we're going to store it in var x. So once this is done, it'll store it in here. And then we're checking to make sure that our variable x is greater than 0. And then if it is, it'll put a 1 in here. If it is equal to 0 or less than 0, I don't know why it would ever be less than 0. But then it would load a 0 into var x instead. And then we take our variable y and do the same thing. So this is our H2 tank, making sure that it has at least some pressure in it. And then we'll do an AND function here, and then if both our x and y variables, which is going to be our pressures, if both of those are above 0, then this will become a 1. If one of these is not, or if one of these is 0, this will become a 0. Okay. And then same thing over here with the temperature. We're going to load those in here, and then we have to get the difference between the two temperatures, right? So let's say we're at 20 and 18, right? So if we take 20 minus 18, that'll give us 2. If we take 18 minus 20, so let's say that our O2 tank is at 20, our H2 tank is at 18, right? If I do O2 minus H2, so 20 minus 18 gives us 2, right? But let's say our O2 is at 18 and our H2 is at 20, so then it's 18 minus 20, which gives us negative 2. Different value, right? Same number, just flipping the sign, right? So we can still do that, and we'll get either a positive or a negative value of the difference between the two. And then to make it positive, just all the way around, we're just going to take the absolute value of that, which takes a negative and turns it into a positive. It'll take a positive and turn it into a positive, which is what it already is, so there is no change. Okay. Then, if that difference between these two is less than 3, then this will show up as a 1, which is good. We like that. So remember, we're getting a 1 up here, and we're getting a 1 here. And then if both of these, so bool x and bool y, are 1, then our bool latch also becomes a 1. And then what we do is we set the on for our mixer equal to the bool latch no matter what it is, right? So if we fail over here at all, the bool latch will be a 0, which means it'll turn it off because it's storing a 0 into the on. If both of these are good, then it will store a 1 into the on, which then turns it on. And then as soon as something breaks, and that isn't reading properly, then this will go back to a 0, which will immediately turn that back off. And then after that, we're just looking up the pressure of our fuel tank. And that's it. Pretty easy, right? It's just, it looks more complicated than what it is, but I think once you explain it, it's a bit easier. Okay, so we shall confirm. Now, what's going to happen here is that this will immediately turn that on, provided it works. No? Pressure is at 187, pressure is at 816. Temperature is 311 and 311. Okay, so this did not turn on automatically. So we have an issue. Now it does work, and of course that's going to immediately turn that thing back on until it runs out of fuel. And of course that's just shoving it over into here, which is then doing that whole thing. So it's cool. It works automatically, which is what we want. And yes, I realize I should be saying automatically, but automagically just sounds better. Okay, so this is not doing a thing. All right, so now we got to figure out, okay, so this is analyzer, comma, O2, analyzer, comma, H2. Okay, and that is fuel mixer. Okay. So first thing you always want to check is just make sure that your names are correct. O2, H2, okay. Fuel mixer, okay. So that's that. So now what we want to do is we're going to set into our, let's see, bool latch. Okay, so this is currently the debug, so we're going to take that out of there. We're going to put the same thing over into here, and that'll be bool x. So we're just going to check these one by one just to see what they're getting. We'll take this, export a couple times, throw it in there. Okay, so we're getting a 0 on pressure. Okay. Set greater than. Do I need to make this like some other number or like what? Now B can be, so A has to be bigger than B. B is 0, so basically anything that's in there should give that. Okay, so then, okay, let me take this out of here, and we'll just go through this one by one, just to make sure that we're pulling things out of here properly. So then this is going to be var x. I said var x, not car x. Okay, confirm. I'm going to take this thing, and now this should read the pressure. It's not reading any pressure. Okay, that could be a problem. Okay, so what are you supposed to be reading? Pressure is 187.709. So that is the right thing. It's just not pulling it. Yeah, so it's doing a thing. I don't know why it's not a number is what NAN says. Load batch, this is O2, right? Just checking weird things, right? You never know. Is that on? No, okay. So I'll throw that back over there. Check this. Make sure this is in fact an O. Analyzer O2. Oh. Okay. So it must have been a 0, I guess. Because now it's working just fine. That's why you always got to check that. So O2 or 02. You know how many times like that has happened to me? Alright, so that's doing a thing. This is making all the stuff. Putting in stuff into here. This is reading us some cool things here. Good. Ratio is perfect. 33 and 67. Good. And that's just going to go on until one of these runs out. Which I'm thinking is probably going to be this first. But that's going to make a lot of fuel. And then all of this fuel is going to be in here making water. Alright. And then this is... that's just the wind in here, I guess. Because temperature is still pretty fine, so... Alright. Anyways, we need water, so let's go and get some stuff. We'll let that run for a little bit. Oh, and we have lots of power here now. That's good. So we have been charging. Good. Takes a long time to clean this thing out, man. Alright. So let's head up. Head up again. Okay, and then we'll throw this over here, throw that over there. Alright. Eat some delicious canned fries, because that's just what we do. Alright, and then, might as well take a shower too. Hey, shower. Yay. Alright. Listen for the chug 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 to stop. There we go. Alright, so that should be good there. I should probably check our little tomato. Low pressure, oxygen low. Whatever, dude. Alright, this should be... ooh, this isn't seated yet. Okay, that one's seated. The other ones aren't. These are all still not dying. Okay, I mean, as long as it's still making stuff. Okay. So we'll call that good to go. All right. And we're up to 64%. Good. Still charging. Oh, hey, it just turned off. Nice. Oh, dropped below, turned it back on. Excellent. It's working. Dude, look at that drop off. So that's how much our Stirling room is generating right now. That whole thing right there. That's pretty crazy. I'm happy with that. It's working. And then you can see the usage on each of these two circuits right here. Of course, they don't include that circuit in there or the one down in the basement. I don't know. One of these days I'm going to have to run something over there so that way I can, you know, check it. Alright, so that's getting plenty of power, so I'm happy with that. Alright, so how are we doing? We are still making fuel. We have a lot of pressure in here, man. Dude, how much is in here? Oh, we also have to make sure that this doesn't go over 40 megapascals. That's another thing that we have to check. Okay. Tank HHO, okay. Okay, so, okay, so then this is going to have to come later. After this goes in. So then we're going to have to load this into var x again. Okay, so that's fine. And then we're going to need another Boolean here. So we'll just reuse bool x, I guess. So set less than bool x, I guess, if our, well, variable x, because that's what we're putting our tank pressure into, is less than 40 megapascals, so 40,000. Yeah. So if it's less than 40,000, go ahead and run this whole thing. And then we have to do another and between the bool, well, we're going to store it into the bool latch again. And then this is going to be bool latch and bool x. Okay, so that shouldn't cause any issues with our fuel, whatever, making process, but it will prevent us from going over 40 megapascals in our tank. So this is probably not really necessary because we're using all of the fuel in the tank. But just in case, we'll confirm that. We will export this a couple times. Throw that in there, shouldn't have any issues. Yeah, okay, good. That's still on, still doing its thing. All right. So how is this doing? We're up to 0.002, but in here we're at 0.6 liters, okay. And these are at 94%. Okay. In here, we're at 463 kilopascals. Okay. Should be fine. This, I don't think needs to be on right now. Okay. So this is all doing a thing. That is down to 474, so we're still working on that. Ratio is still really, really good. Temperature is still exact, so that's good as well. Now, granted, that is making sure that the temperatures are staying the same. So that's kind of what is responsible for all of that. And also, that is not heating up our room in here, so that's good. And that's almost at a pure vacuum in there anyways, so it should be fine. Okay. So that's doing a thing. This is automated up to this point where we put our where we are putting everything in here. And so now I need to control this pump right here and this pump right here. So this I need to make sure is below 100 degrees. So this is going to be, we're going to have to label these things. So we have this one. Do I need to see this one? I don't think so. So this is nice to have, but it doesn't need to be on. I don't think I'm going to be using this one. So this is going to be analyzer steam. Okay, and then this one is going to be analyzer hot water, and this one is going to be analyzer cold water. All right, and then this is going to be our pump for our hot water, so pump hot water, and this one is going to be our pump for cold water. All right, and these are both the same type, so I'm gonna need a liquid pump. Pump liquid. So I'm gonna borrow that. All right, we'll go in here and we will see if we can get this working as well. All right, and then define pump as that. All right, so now I can use the LBN whatever thing, hash values, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now for the water cooling part. So we need to look up So load batch new, we're going to put this into variable x, device hash, nope, this is going to be lanalyzer. Lanalyzer, there we go. With the name, let's see, analyzer, hot water. Okay. And then we're going to look up the temperature, and we're going to get the average. Okay. So if this temperature, so set less than, we're going to throw this into bool x. If this temperature of var x, which is going to be our hot water temperature, is less than 373, throw a 1 into bool x. And then if it is at a 1, we're going to set to our, no, that's going to set batch name pump with the name, let's see, pump hot water. And then that's going to be setting the on. And then what we need to set to it is going to be our bool x. I think that is correct, right? Yeah, okay. So if our temperature is less than 100 degrees, then we are going to turn on the pump for this. And then if it is greater than 373 or greater than 100 degrees, we're going to turn it off. So this will be 1 if it's less than 100 degrees. It'll be a 0 if it is greater. So there's that. And then, oh, and there also has to be liquid in there, because otherwise I'm just going to have the pumps running all the time, which is just going to waste power. So what else do we need for this? That's going to give us power, pressure. That's not what I need. Ratio of water. Total moles, volume. Okay. And then basically I need to see like what is in here currently. Okay, so our ratio water is our liquid H2O. Okay. So let's go back to this one. Okay, so ratio water. And then is there like a ratio for steam or something? Yeah, okay, so there's a ratio for steam. Okay, good. Okay. So our ratio of water has to be greater than, I don't know, let's say 10%. Okay. So, let's see. Let's LBN into var y from the liquid analyzer called analyzer, comma, hot water. And then this is going to be, what was it, ratio water? Okay. And then we're going to, let's see, so this has to be set greater than, so sgt bool y from var y, and that has to be greater than 0.1 or 0.1. So greater than 10%. So that's provided there is water in there and our temperature is less than, you know, whatever. Then we're going to, okay, run everything. So now we have to do an AND function. So we're going to throw this into the latch, and then we're going to bool x and bool y, and then we're going to set this using the bool latch. Okay, so that'll get our hot water pump going. All right, next thing. So now we need to load batch into, so now we're going to reuse var x and var y. And then this, I'm just going to copy, because we're basically doing the same thing, just twice. And then this, I'm going to copy again. And then this is going to be cold water. Var X, var Y, yep, good. And then this, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and copy, paste. Am I, oh no, that's, I thought I was dying again. No, that's just the Harveys doing what they do. Okay, so if 273 is 0 degrees, we want 27, so it's going to be 303. Well, yeah, so if we go 303, that'll be at 30 degrees. So if it's less than 30 degrees, I'm good with it being that. So if R, and then set less than 303, okay. Yeah, that should be fine, and making sure that there is in fact water in there. Then latch, take these two bools and then put them into the latch, and then use the latch to turn on this pump. Okay, now that should be the entire process done, but we shall see. So confirm, we'll just export that a couple of times. There we go. Now these should not turn on yet because our temperature is too high. We have 3 liters in there, okay. And this is a mechanical thing right here. So this will fill up in here and then cool. And then, yeah, it'll automatically go into here on its own, so I don't have to control anything here. So again, this, not necessary unless I just want to see like what's in there, but that is not necessary. Okay, so that is doing a thing. Good. Okay, we're down to 215. Okay, so we're almost done with that. We're still running through all of our fuel here. Still 3367. Our temperatures are still matched. Good. That's still on doing a thing. These are still okay. That is still okay. All right. And now we wait. So this has to get down below 373. And then once that happens, this should open. And then that will pump out everything until there's less than 10% water, liquid water by volume. And then that will turn itself back off. And then this is going to be running and checking the temperature in here. Now we have 6 liters in here and we're at 299. So this one should technically be turning on. Wait, no, this one should be turning on. That's our cold water pump, okay. That's our hot water pump, okay. Yeah, this should be turning on. What's the ratio? Water, 0.984. Yeah, so it's definitely there. Unless I just have the greater than or less than backwards possible. Okay. Yeah, I think we just have to start setting in some. Yeah, so we'll take that off. We figured out what that issue was, so that doesn't need to be in there anymore. All right, so now the second part here, so analyzer, cold water, and then our liquid analyzer. Just make sure that's defined. Okay, yeah, liquid analyzer is here, okay. Just verifying names of things, I guess. Analyzer, comma, hot water, analyzer, comma, cold water. Okay. I mean, this should be turning on. Okay, so let's throw in some stuff here. Okay, so we're going to set to dB into the setting. We're going to say var x. Okay, and we're going to see what that is. Let me borrow you real quick. Export, throw you back in there. Not a number. What do you mean not a number? Oh, because it's not. Wait, no, that should be that should still be pulling something here. Okay, hang on. Let me just make sure that analyzer, liquid analyzer, liquid pipe, whatever. Okay, so we still have the temperature in here. So I'm pulling the right thing. Temperature and pressure are both here. So this should be reading something. Pressure is 196, temperature is 417. So it should be returning those values. var x, okay. Load. Okay. Logic type. Analyzer, liquid analyzer. Batch mode is 0, okay. That should be returning something. But it's returning not a number. Okay. Weird. Let's try our var y. Confirm, we'll see if that's showing anything here. It's also showing not a number. Okay, make sure I don't have it on anywhere else. Okay, nope. Okay, so something is not functioning correctly. And then I should, hold on, before I get too crazy here, we should probably leave that in there, so that way this will turn off when it's done, I guess. Okay, so that's almost done. Load batch. Okay, so then we have the register there, device hash, the name hash, logic type, batch mode. I mean, this should be pulling something. But yeah, that's why that's not doing anything, because it's not pulling off of here for some reason. Alright, so I suppose we can sit here and watch this countdown. And then what should happen is once this is done and out of H2, it should turn off the mixer. Now, hopefully this isn't going to break anything. Yeah, it's still looking fine, 2 point whatever megapascals. That has 6 liters in there. Okay, that's fine as well. Okay, so we're at 16 point, well, less than 16 kilopascals now. See if the mixer turns off. Hopefully it does. Then I won't have to debug anything, which would be great. Less than 1 kilopascal. Oh. Okay, well, it's doing the funky chicken right now. Alright, so then maybe we change this so that way it's less than 5 kilopascals, 10 kilopascals. Okay, hang on. That's going to be the water mixing. Temperature, pressure, set greater than, let's set these like to 10. That's just 10 kilopascals. Confirm. Export. Okay. Now that just turns it straight off. Alright. So if we drop below 10, that'll be fine. I think the reason for the bouncing around is because this empties out of the fuel and then like it shoves fuel back in, so it's constantly like emptying, filling, emptying, filling. So that's fine, but that seemed to work. Okay. And now this is eventually going to run out of fuel, which will then cause this to turn off. Alright, but now I need to figure out what's going on with the analyzer here. So let me just make sure that that is the correct number for it. So L analyzer. Aha. Okay. Different number. Export. Export a couple of times. Alright, now. No, nothing. Oh wait, no. Yeah, it pumped everything out already. Okay. So yeah, so that did a thing. Good. Well, it says not a number now. Okay. I don't know why it's still saying not a number, but whatever. So that had to have turned on because there's no, I mean, I didn't turn it on and there was 6 liters of water in there. So the fact that that, you know, didn't, well, I didn't anyways. Hang on, let me just, the volume of liquid, we have 8.5 liters of water in there right now. Good. And we're just over here happily picking our little potatoes. I'm guessing this, oh yeah, no, it has a seed. Okay, good. There we go. So, Harveys are doing their job. Good. This is slowly gonna run through all of its fuel, so that'll be good. Alright, I don't know why that's still showing as not a number, but unless I took that out and it's just not updating. Yeah, I took it out. Okay, so it's just not updating. Okay, so then let's just do a set db setting var x just for funsies. Yeah, now it's reading correctly. Okay. So yeah, so it was just wrong hash ID, I guess. All right, so that should be everything all doing what it needs to do. And then I wonder if I could read off of the tank here. I think I could, actually. Then I can kind of, like, it'll show me how much water is in there at any given time. That'd be good, right? Alright. So then we're gonna have to check. I could just pull that in as, you know, D5 or something. What is the name of this tank H2O? Okay. Easy enough. We'll put it into here. Let's go back. Tank H2O. Good. Alright. And then at the end of all of this, I would like to see, so set into DB, into the setting. I'm supposed to have to load from that, right? So then that's going to be var x, I suppose. And then this is going to be load into var x from D2. This is going to be volume of something something. Tank large tank. There we go. Volume? No, volume of liquid. Okay. Volume of liquid. We'll even give this its own little thing. So show water volume. That'll go all the way back to the start. All right. Then I just have to identify that. So alias. What am I calling it? Just D2. Then I don't really need to do this because I'm just calling it D2. No, whatever. We'll still put it in here. So large water tank D2. That way at least I know what D2 is, but that should work just fine there. You can go here, export it a couple times, throw it in there. We have 8.5 liters in there. Wonderful. All right, so that was a lot. And then that's going to be running for a little while. So that's all fine, I guess. That is currently at 416 kelvins. We have plant and potatoes. Let's check our immortal ferns and see if they're still immortal. Apparently they are still immortal. Okay. Immortal ferns, man. Ooh, and then these are both kind of dying a little bit, but that's because this thing is on. And yeah, it's probably going to be using up. And that thing too. That uses up a lot of power. Okay. And then let's see, where are we at? Hour 3. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do is to set up all of these things. So we only turn on what we need to turn on. And only for as long as they need to be turned on. And then this has some coding in there. Yes. Okay, good. So we'll close that up, I guess. All right. So I think that'll probably be good for this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. It was a lot of coding. But with all of that, we should have our water creation automated. Now all I have to do is make sure that I have enough water in there to support even more plants and whatnot. Because I still have like another 3 rows that I have to fill up with stuff. I don't know what I'm going to put in there, but something. All right, so let's see. Let's just toss our stuff into here. Just throw that down there, throw that over there. Good to go. And we got a nice little can right here. Then we will eat our next container, can, thing, fries, whatever. All right. Now, we are at 3 megapascals in there. So that's fine. How is this doing? 83%. Nice. That's just always running, so We're at 67%. Okay, so having those things properly set up now, I think that's doing a fair amount of good for us. Looks like we might be coming out of the winter, or going into the winter, who knows. Alright, so, I'm going to hop back into the cryo tube, take a little nap here. But, hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, hope you'll join me for the next one. But until then, have a good one.